Hey everybody, it's Toys of Arkham here, and I'm back with another review. This time it is the Neca Ultimate Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. So I'm continuing on my little horror buzz here, a bit of a fallout from Halloween. I picked up a few Neca figures, and this is the next one I'm going to review for you. And before I begin, I'd just like to thank all of you who have reached out and given me support on the channel, who've asked for specific reviews and given me feedback on my reviews and checked out all my videos and left comments. And from the bottom of my heart, I would really like to thank both of you. Thanks so much. So without further ado, let's get on to the review. So, what does this figure come with, I don't hear you ask? Quite a bit, you hear me say. So, like all these Neca Ultimate figures, it comes fully equipped with all these amazing accessories that Neca puts an awful lot of effort into. And they're all pretty central to the movie. I don't know if you've checked the movie out. I have recently, and believe it or not, I hadn't seen the movie when I had picked the figure up. So I bought this from Mad About Horror, and I wanted a Jason figure, but I didn't know much about the character, if I'm being honest. I hadn't watched many of the movies, and if I had, I'd forgotten about them. But of the figures that were available, I thought this was the coolest looking. I thought this was really gory and gruesome and a really detailed figure. And from what I've seen so far, I've just opened this up and I'm really impressed by it. So, as I said, I've seen the movie now, and it's not a classic, but it's not bad. It's not a bad movie at all. And this version of Jason is he's a big dude in the movie, and he's a force to be reckoned with. And yeah, I enjoyed it. Definitely a decent horror flick. So it comes with weapons that I suppose I don't even know how to properly describe them. This looks like there's actually probably a proper name for this that I don't know, but you can see that would do a fair amount of damage if used as a weapon. There's this kind of what's this called, a scythe or a hook, I forget the name of it, but you can see again this thing would inflict a lot of damage. So there's swap out hands here. So the idea of this Jason, spoiler alert, is this guy's been at the bottom of a lake for quite a while before being resurrected or brought back to life in some way, shape or form. And the damage to his clothing and skin, his body overall, has been caused by just the water deteriorating him over time. So he comes with this mask that's broken in half, which is really cool, has nice detail on it. Now this is a really running out of adjectives, but it is cool. It is a cool accessory, and again, this is some sort of a hedge cutter that he goes after one of his victims with, and that's a saw blade at the bottom that needless to say would do a lot of damage. And there's the handle, and at the back is the motor, if it will focus there. So yeah, really accurate to how it looked in the movie as far as I can recollect. There's this axe as well, has a bit of blood stain on it. Nice detail. Let me see, there's this other kind of a long, it's not a sword rather, but a long knife. It's more of a classic kitchen knife as used by Many of the slasher icons in horror movies, they all like to use this weapon. And finally, there's this spike. That looks like the type of spike you'd use to put in the ground if you were to hold a tent down or something like that. So obviously that's been used to stab someone, hence the blood all over it. And then finally, in terms of accessories, you've got this extra head sculpt, which is the roaring, decayed head of Jason. And it has this kind of a slimy, wet look off it because of the gloss paint finish. But it is pretty gruesome and gory, but again, accurate to the movie. So just before I go on to the figure, we'll just have a look at the box. So it's one of those standard, I suppose, NECA boxes, and it has pictures of the figure on the back and different poses you can put him in. And it's handy for me to show you that because I won't be putting him in all these different poses. But if you want to check out my Instagram of Toys of Arkham, you'll see pictures going up of him soon in different poses, I suppose. Now, onto the figure itself. So the first thing I should tell you is that when I took it out of the box, I did move him around and try pose him in different ways, and the reason I did that was just to see how stiff his joints were straight out of the packaging. And the one I suppose criticism I'd have of NECA is that quite often when they are taken out of the box, they're just very stiff, and they usually need the hot water treatment or hairdryer treatment to just get them to a point of being able to be posed. But this guy seems to be okay. There's this material is kind of a rubber material that's used on the clothing, so it's more pliable. There's certainly a little bit more give out of the box than a lot of NECA figures that I have experience of dealing with. But NECA in general, I mean, I gotta give them credit. I'm predominantly a 1/6 figure collector, and for these 7-inch figures, they really get a lot of detail into them. And quite often, when I'm taking pictures of them, I'm just left kind of scratching my head going, geez, why don't I just collect these? Because they're so much cheaper and they're fun to photograph. They don't take as much effort sometimes as the likes of Hot Toys to just pose and arrange and display. But oh, look, I'm not going to move away from 1/6 figures altogether, but I do like picking up these type of characters, especially when the likes of companies like Hot Toys just don't depict them in 1/6 scale. So you just have no choice. You have to get what you can of certain figures. I know Sideshow did a figure of this guy in 1/6, but it's not this version of him. So let's go from the feet up. So just get a little bit closer on him. You can see there's a lot of detail on this guy, a huge amount of detail, and all of it is, as I said, just a depiction of how his body had eroded and rotted and decayed as he was submerged in the lake, and the flesh is tearing off and bone is beginning to expose itself, and the clothing is becoming ragged and torn, and that whole theme continues up his whole body. You can see there on his hand he's got this the bones coming through. I mean, it's truly disgusting. And it's a sort of a green costume. It would have been like coveralls on him. There's a real chain around his neck, and it's obvious why that is around his neck if you've seen the previous Friday the 13th that this film was the sequel to. And again, the detail on the hands here, on the arm, you can see the biceps coming through on the arm. and the holes, but you can see the ribs as well. It's really disgusting. The ribs are coming through, and it's also here on the left hand side, the shoulder, you can see is coming through as well. Now this is disgusting, horrible stuff. His spine is completely showing, and down here maybe that's a kidney, or I don't know, I'm not too up on human anatomy, but there's some organ of some description coming out his back there. Shoulder blades as well. Truly rotten stuff, but an incredibly detailed figure. Like, I mean, for £50, amazing. Now the mask is very accurate. It has a piece that's broken away, and you can see the bit that's broken away has also a piece of the cheek and jaw broken away, so much that you can see into the teeth. And again, there's a continuation onto the head of a sort of a indentation or a slash, and there is a sheen on the skull or head. Now if I take this mask off, you'll see his beautiful face. That's him smiling. What a handsome chap. He actually looks a bit like a monkey, but he is not a monkey or an ape or any sort of primitive creature. He is a man that has been, as I said, submerged in a lake for a number of years, and his face has turned to this abomination, and it is truly disgusting. So there he is without his mask. I think you'll agree he looks better with his mask, just because you don't want to look at that ugly face. So the mask pops on very easily and is accurate. So there he is, Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Breed. And he comes with all of this amazing stuff. And this head, I haven't tried to pop it on, but you can see again what that looks like. If my camera would do what it's supposed to do, which it won't. Why won't it? Anyway, you'll have to rewind and go back and see it again. Sorry about that. Okay, so I would definitely recommend this figure. I mean, even if you don't know much about the character and you just want some sort of a representation of him in your collection, he is disgusting, he's gruesome, he's got an incredible presence about him. His posability is fantastic as far as I can see. Straight out of the packet, you can move him around and not have to do the whole bath and hot water or whatever it is. I'm not suggesting you take this guy into the bath with you, but you know what I mean. Get some hot substance of some description, warm water or air on him, and he will be fine if he doesn't move for you. And all these accessories are incredible. Now, before I go, I want to ask you, for my next review, would you like me to review the Ash from Evil Dead, the NECA Ultimate Edition? Would you like me to review the Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 Ultimate Freddy? Would you like me to review the NECA Loomis and from Halloween Part 2 sorry, Michael Myers? Or would you like me to review Sam from Trick or Treat? Or finally, would you like me to review Predator 2 City Hunter? Do let me know. Leave a comment, comment, and if you would like, please subscribe. Talk to you soon. Adios. Bye bye.